To grade or not to grade? That is the question. Hey YouTube, Devin here with Comics and Stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Today's question is to grade or not to grade. It's a great question. You know, I had a conversation with a buddy the other night that was talking about one of my books that I had gotten graded, and it had one major defect that brought it down to a really low grade, but I collected it anyways, and it was a really long story. But the whole point that came out of it was, when should you get a book graded or not? So I'm going to tell you the 3.5 things that your book, that would qualify your book to getting graded. So if your book does not meet one of these 3.5 things, don't get it graded. So number one, okay, if you want to get a book graded, one of the first things that I would say is monetary value. If you have a book that is worth $200, $600, $1,000, $1 million, get it graded. You know, protect that condition, especially if you're doing it for an investment. Get it graded. If it's for your personal collection, sure, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. Cool, do it. But if you're in it for the money, get it graded. Reason number 2, if the book has great sentimental value to you. If this was your first comic book and you've held on to it your whole life, and you're starting to think, okay, it's time, it's starting to possibly get damaged, or it's old, or I can smell it oxidizing, or God, I can never say the word. Anyways, get it graded if it has that great sentimental value to you. I know I got my first comic graded. Number 3, if you're trying to have a complete set. So generally speaking, if you go onto CGC's website or CBCS's website, and you look at their registry, people will register their complete set. So people will have a full set of all of Action Comics. I mean, obviously you'd have to be really rich to have that, but somebody will have like a full set of Action Comics. Every single issue is graded by CGC and registered, and they get to show it off. They get to show off their full sets. So if you want to have a full set, get it graded. Then you can show it off, and everybody will recognize your badassery. I'm working on a full set right now. I'll show you when it's done. And then the half. The half would be if it's really, really old. So if you have books that are, from the 1930s, 1940s, they could be of high value, but they're old, they're a little rickety, but you want it to keep it in the good condition, or even if it's semi-okay condition and you just want to keep it where it's at, you don't want it to get worse, get it graded. That is simple. I have a book. It's from 1943. It's a Green Lantern number 10. It's the first appearance of Vandal Savage, one of my very favorite supervillains of all time. And, the book itself will probably honestly come back to me at a 2.0. But that's because there's an itsy-bitsy little hole on his forehead that's like the size of like a fourth of my pinky nail, and then the spine is covered in tape. But I just don't want the book to get worse than that. I already read through it. It's great. I love the story. That's why I got the book. It was because I love it, and I collected it because I love it. But it's time to get it graded. So if your book doesn't meet any of those 3.5, points of criteria, don't get it graded. Just, put it in a long box, store it. You can go on to Bill Cole Enterprises and get some time locks, some acid-free, Mylar bags or boards, take care of them. But unless it's those 3 things, I'll put a list. Unless it's those 3.5 things, don't get it graded. That's really it. I had some books I actually kind of wanted to show off to you guys really quickly, just speaking about this. So I got my Mystery in Space number 8 back. It's graded at a 1.8. Last appearance of the Knights of the Galaxy. So interesting point that I wanted to make as well is that, remember, and this is kind of more of a collector's thing as opposed to like a whether you should get a book graded or not thing. But I guess whatever. But this book, I got it because obviously you guys know that I'm a budget collector. I generally try to stick to books that are between a 3 and a 5. Just because it's more affordable. I'm not a millionaire. I can't afford those books that are thousands upon thousands of dollars. I saw a More Fun Comic 73 sell for $65,000 last week on eBay. Anyways. But this book is in immaculate condition. Everything is great. The colors are vibrant. There's no damage. There's no watermarks. There's no tears, rips. Nobody went in and drew a mustache on everybody's face with a pen. The only thing that's wrong with this book is that the entire cover is split except for 1/2 inch. That's it. That's the only reason why this book has gotten such a low grade. You know, it's that one thing. And I got this book graded just to protect it. I didn't want the cover to split off anymore. So that could be like another half thing, which would make it 4, I guess, points of why you should get a book graded. But I got this book graded to protect it. I read through it. It's a great story, and I just don't want it to come to any more damage. And I just really like it. I really like the cover. It's one of my favorite colors. The colors are bright. You know, you'll see a little. I'll do a pan thing right there. But that's really it, guys. So I hope that this was educational, fun, funny, whatever. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you guys want, I finally fixed up my website. So every single Friday, you can tune into my website and I will review one independently published comic book. So nothing from DC, Dark Horse, Marvel, none of the bigger titles from Image that everybody already knows about. I want to do some real niche, like small-time indie publishers and, review their stuff. So tune in on Fridays and check it out. Anyways, okay guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you Monday.